Most coaches and info product owners are absolutely drowning right now. And you want to know why? Because they're still playing the 2018 playbook that just doesn't work anymore. Organic content only with no systems and data, meaning they're posting and just praying to see if it works. Low ticket offers that have zero leverage or selling one-off sessions that introduce no value for you and your clients. Doing everything themselves like some sort of digital superhero and relying on hook marketing instead of predictable scalability. I've seen coaches go from struggling to hit 5K per month to consistently pulling 20, 30, 50, or even 100K months. And I can tell you right now, it's not about just posting post and pray content. It's about implementing a system, an ecosystem that brings in qualified calls every single week onto your calendar directly. And in this video, I'm going to break down everything for free. I'm giving away our entire system of how we get our clients from 5K per month, 10K per month, all the way up to 100K months using this exact same system. And I'm giving it away all for free. I shouldn't even be giving this away for free because it's going to make you hundreds of thousands of dollars if you implement it correctly. So pay attention, go grab a notebook and start writing down everything that's important in this that you need to implement into your own business. And before we get into it, if you want any help with implementing this and start scaling your business to anywhere between 20 to 100K a month, click the link down below. But with that being said, let's get into it. So in this video, I'm going to teach you the exact system that's required to hit $20,000 per month as a coach or an info product owner. And let me explain to you what your current probable situation is right now. And this is the most common similarities that we see with anyone that we hop on a call with, is that your current situation is you're capped at 5 to 20K per month, which is not what you want, working inside your business rather than on it, spending hours every day trying to do everything yourself, selling a low ticket offer and one-off sessions that have no leverage at all, and you're getting inconsistent needs and having feast or famine months where honestly you don't know when the next client's coming from, you don't know if you are going to get another client, and you're genuinely just not getting any leads from social media or anywhere at all. And what does this equal? Well, in general fact, this equals fear, anxiety, feast or famine months, like I just stated, no clarity of growth, and zero leverage. Now, why does it create this? Because you have no predictable systems to bring in high quality leads directly into your business. You're sitting there posting content and praying to see if it works, and it just doesn't work, and that's not what you want. You want to be able to post content that attracts the right ICP to your account and then nurture them from that content and pushing them onto your call. Like, this is the system that's bringing in millions for coaches. And I'm not just saying this, I'm telling you the damn truth here, that this system is the only system right now that is working. Posting only on YouTube or posting only on Instagram is not going to work. You need to implement real systems and real mechanisms in order to bring you the quality clients that you desire to work with. Now, okay, Chris, yeah, we feel like this. Now, what happens then? How do we solve the issue that we're facing? How do we solve the fear? How do we solve the anxiety? How do we solve the feast of famine months? How do we solve all of these issues that we're facing in our business right now? Well, let me tell you how. Is it cold outreach? No. Is it making our prices cheaper? No. And is it organic content only? No. The biggest lie that I see in the industry right now is getting stuck in the organic trap. Constantly posting on socials and getting organic traffic is good. Don't get me wrong. We even help people do that. But what is predictable and scales businesses to 100K per month is much more complex and much deeper than just generally posting organic content. But let me make it directly clear. Organic content plays a massive role in our system, but it takes other things in order for it to be converted into an actual client. And I'm going to show you that very, very soon. So is it any of that stuff? No. Let me tell you the simple reason why, because I can't just say, no, it's not any of that stuff, and you kind of have to think why it's not. I'm going to tell you exactly why it's none of these. Well, cold outreach. Let's start off with that. Why is it not cold outreach? Well, it's very, very simple. Cold outreach is low leverage because you have to sit there and either manually do it or spend thousands upon thousands on cold emails and get horrible returns on that. It's time consuming. It takes you a lot of time. Setting up even the initial sequences takes time. You sending out the emails takes time. Getting maybe a setter to do it takes a lot of time. I wrote time consuming twice there. Sorry about that. And trust comes last instead of first. We want people to come to us and us to go to them when they know about us, so that they're warm. They know what we're offering them. If you're going to DM people while they're cold, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to convert them, and unless you have an amazing funnel like we probably have you watching this video right now. But the system that we have thrives on bringing in the warm traffic to you so that you can convert them without having to worry about some shitty cold outreach. Now, let's go into the next thing. Making our prices cheaper. Why is this not what we want? Well, this attracts low quality clients. There's a meme going around right now that if you have a client that pays you $300, $500 for every session, every month, they're a horrible client. They're asking you constantly questions. They want to change things all the time. But high ticket clients, they don't care. They aren't going to ask you questions. They aren't going to ask for changes. They're just going to get it running because they're high ticket, and that puts instant more value onto you. You are now higher value. Like I said before, it devalues your offer. When you're charging low ticket, you devalue yourself and your offer, which makes it not as valuable to the person because they're not paying enough. it sets the wrong expectations. Essentially, this means that you're telling people that you're going to get them this result, but because it's so low, you're unable to fulfill that, and they don't actually care because the price wasn't high enough, and they're horrible clients to work with. And like I said, the worst client results. You're going to get the worst client results when you have low ticket and one-off sessions because A, their value isn't enough, B, there's not enough time, and C, they're not paying you enough for them to see the real value in you. So that's why you get the worst clients from this at all. Now let's move on to organic content only. Now again, I'm going to reiterate, organic content is great. It plays a big role, but relying on it only isn't the most predictable way to scale, and I'll show you right now. Well, first of all, it's slow results of a YouTube sales funnel to your account for it to actually start gaining traction. It's unpredictable, okay? So you can be posting after those 3 to 6 months and you don't know how many clients you're going to get from there. Unpredictableness is the biggest issue that the market is facing right now, and our system directly solves it. It's hard to scale fast. Yeah, you can post 3 videos a week, but it's incredibly hard to scale fast on YouTube alone. And the inconsistent lead flow is the biggest issue. Again, it's inconsistent. You don't know when people are coming in, and that is the worst part of it. You're probably sitting there and you're like, okay, Chris, what is actually going to solve these issues? What can I do to implement into my business to solve all these problems that the whole market is facing right now? If you aren't someone who's making 100K a month, you are definitely facing these issues. And I'm going to show you right now exactly how to fix it, because we have done relentless amount of research and a relentless amount of testing to prove that the system actually works. Now, what will the system do? What will be the conversion of you after implementing the system from over here to over here? What is the difference? Well, you're going to be able to scale to 20 to 100K a month every single month within the next probably 4 months. You're going to be working on your business, not in your business, so that you are a CEO, you're a founder. You need to remember that as a coach, consultant, or as an info product owner, you are the owner of the business. You aren't a worker bee. You need to make sure you're working on the business, not in the business, not wasting your time on low leverage tasks. Selling high ticket offer equals better clients. The second you optimize your offer to be high ticket, you're going to get better client results, and you're going to get better clients completely from the offer because you're asserting your value in the market, and because you're probably going to have the best offer in the market as well. And then what it helps you with also is consistent and qualified lead flow. Bringing in consistent warm leads that are nurtured with your organic content and pushed onto a call so that you can close them. And this increases your closing rate to probably around 50% because they're so freaking warm. What is the system? Well, it's a system I made specifically for coaches and info product owners. And I'm going to tell you exactly what it is and how to implement it right now. But first, before we get into that, who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, I'm Chris, right? And I've been working for the best content agencies in the world for the past 2 years. I got some incredible results for those teams, one adding over 250K to a single client with YouTube alone and over 20K subs for that client. Additionally, adding over 6 figures to another client, Expose either. But I noticed something, that these massive results and agencies saw clients as numbers, right? They saw their clients as numbers. They didn't see their clients as valuable people in their business. Now, and any clients they couldn't get results for, they simply tossed them aside because they have no predictable way to scale consistently and recoverably every single time, and that is their own issues. And only seeing specific clients get results, while other new clients, they didn't really care if they got them results because they knew that if they got them on for 3-month package, they would sign them off right after, and their client retention was super low because they weren't giving more value to their clients, more ecosystems, more processes, more lead generations predictably, and help in the entire backend as well. They failed their clients, and that's when I decided to change the game. I decided that I wanted to add more value to any other content agency. I wouldn't even call it content agency, to any other growth content partner to their business, because no one actually knows how to do that. And that's when I created this exact system right here. This is the system I'm going to break down to you today that you can implement into your business to bring anywhere between 20 to 100K to your business every single month if implemented correctly. And this is a basic breakdown of it. I'm going to go much more in depth. A system that can generate 8 to 12 calls every single week with warm prospects and qualified prospects. And I'm about to share everything. I'm not holding back, so take a pen and paper out, pay attention, and implement what I'm telling you. If you're here just to watch and click off, implementation is probably the most important thing. So again, if you had to watch and click off, don't even watch the rest of this video. It's important that you take what I say and implement it. I'm not holding back, like I said. And the speed of implementation equals results. The faster you implement anything, if you join any mentorship program, if you take any system, the speed at which you implement it is directly correlated to the results that you get. So let me go right into this right now. The biggest thing I learned from joining anything anywhere on this planet is that implementation speed is the most important asset of your business. Now, if you're going to come here and watch a video and not implement anything that is being said and not implement it with speed and velocity, then honestly, the results that you don't get are completely your fault. If you come here and make sure that you're taking what I say, put it into practice, and start adding anywhere between 20 to 100K a month onto your business with this exact system, then you are going to print cash because your speed of implementation is very, very fast. So right now, I'm going to break down the exact hybrid growth system for you. So the hybrid growth system, what is it? A system that's ready to bring in high quality leads directly to you using offer optimization, warm lead contact approach, and an appointment setting all mixed together so that you can start bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I like to break the system down into 3 inherent parts, right? You got your offer optimization, content ecosystem, and client acquisition. So essentially this is to help you start charging high tickets. This is to start bringing in people onto your funnel, nurturing them and getting them into your DMs or wherever you're doing it. And then here is where you get them into booked calls. This is how the system works. It goes from this to this to this. It's a 3-step part. It has a lot of parts in it, obviously, but it's a 3-step system that's here to give you the results that you've been looking for, to solve all of these issues up here. Capped at 5K per month, working in your business, low ticket offers, inconsistent needs, fear, anxiety, fees of 5 months, no clarity and growth. This right here solves it. And I'm about to break it down right now. Okay. And now I said I'm going to break it down all for free for you right now. So let's get right into it. Take a pen and paper out. So the offer optimization. Currently, you're selling a low ticket offer and you're getting the worst client results. And what do we want to do? What is the dream outcome for this exact system? Well, we want to charge high ticket offer and get better client results. Now, what do we need to do to change that? Well, we need to start implementing a need to have, not a nice to have offer. The difference between the two is that a need to have is something that a person needs once in their business. A nice to have is something that's like, oh, you know, it's nice, but I don't really need it. And that was the main issue with the other content doing just YouTube. That is just a nice to have. This is a need to have system that you want in your business right now. If you're already here, you're probably watching this, you're like, how can I get this guy to implement it for me? But let me break it down for you a little bit more. Take your low ticket offer or your one-off sessions and expand it by doing the following. Shifting from one-off sessions or generic help to a clear transformation-based outcome. So instead of constantly getting people on one-off calls or selling a $27 per month product, actually plan out a clear transformation from where they are, from where they want to be in your program. So it could be the same transformation for your low ticket offer, but you're implementing a lot more value, a lot more one-on-one, a lot more anything into the actual offer so that you can get them results. You write down what you need to do to get these people the results. And then you're going to use a specific framework in order to frame yourself properly. And the biggest issue I see with a lot of coaches is that they don't have to frame themselves as service workers when they're actually in the transformation niche. They are there to transform people. They are there to make people have an outcome. Same thing with info programmers. You guys are there to change people from one place to the other place. And you need to frame yourself properly to do this. So specifically for coaches, I help so this would be your ideal client, overcome certain pain point by mechanism in time frame. So I can actually show you my Instagram account right now to show you how this works. So as you can see here, I help online coaches and pros scale to $20,000 a month using a hybrid growth system, right? That is literally all it is. That is exactly how you implement it, right? Mine's a little bit more generic. You need to add like maybe a time frame or a pain point. I don't need to add that because the pain point is scaling. So for you, a time frame and a pain point will work you wonders. And this will directly correlate you to people who want to be your client. And with info product owners, it's the same thing. You obviously don't want to sound like a coach. So you're just going to say, I help people add 25K per month onto their business, or I help people build out their dropshipping, or whatever it is, right? Same exact thing. And you can package it as a step-by-step system with a defined start and end. This is the most important part. The biggest issue I see when people are building out their offer is they actually have no way to, start building out their offer in a way that it guarantees results and is a transformation. Again, remember, you are in the transformation niche. You're not a coach, you're not an info product owner. You are a transformation guide. You're there to get a person from X to Y. So the only way you can do that is by planning out a step-by-step system that is directly attributable to converting those people from X to Y. So keep that in mind when you're making your offer. Okay, now what is the next step? What do we need to do next? Well, we need to build a scalable delivery system, something that we are able to scale and still be able to fulfill as many clients as hop on board. Because the biggest issue as I see is that when coaches or info product owners eventually do start selling high tickets, they're either doing everything themselves or they have no replicable systems that are in place to be able to scale the delivery very, very fast. And that's why I'm going to show you how to do it right now. You need to build a fulfillment that is impactful and simple like this. The biggest thing that I see is that you're not able to make it simple enough. It needs to be impactful and simple at the same time. Now, that might sound a little bit confusing. And okay, how do we do that? Well, I'm going to show you. But this is the biggest issue that I see, is that it becomes too complex and then you genuinely just don't know how to fulfill your service. Now, what you're going to do is convert your delivery into modules or repeatable content. Now, instead of doing everything one-on-one with your clients, you're going to build out an entire content infrastructure on something like Notion or something like Teachable or whatever it is. And this way, when people hop on board, they're able to, watch content that will help them self-study. So this adds responsibility onto the client for getting their own results as well. And then secondly, they get one-on-one communication with you, as well as a community channel and maybe a review channel for whatever they're sending you. And this is exactly how you do it. You implement templates and SOPs for them to follow completely to the T. So this is the biggest thing, is that if you don't do this, you're going to be trying to help everyone with everything on hundreds of calls, which at the end of the day, if you're doing calls every single week or twice a week with one person, you should be charging much, much more for that. You need to then be reducing manual time by automating and delegating repetitive tasks. So when you sign someone, you need to have an onboarding system that automates as soon as you get the payment in. This way that you aren't constantly creating something, or even if you get a VA to do it, so that you aren't sitting there creating stuff over and over again that is repeatable for each client. And then you need to implement tools like client trackers and progress check-ins as well, so that you can make sure that you're checking everyone's results and making sure that they're hitting the KPIs that they should be. So let's say that you're a fitness coach, you get a tracking sheet that tracks each client to see what their weight loss is, or if their weight gain, or what their physique looks like, recomps, everything like that. And that's how this works. Or let's say if you're a money coach, let's show you how the clients are progressing in that offer. And that is probably one of the biggest things as well. So that is exactly the offer optimization stage. Now, there's a little bit more that goes into it, but that is genuinely what we do for our clients. Now, next is the content ecosystem. This is what is going to be bringing in and converting most of your leads. So this is probably the most important section of this entire video. Now, currently what you're getting is no consistent lead flow, post and pray content, and also getting stuck in the organic content trap. Now, I spoke a little bit about this in the beginning, is that you're constantly getting stuck in this trap where you think organic is the end all be all and it's the most, golden thing out there. Again, organic content is very important for the system, but if you're doing it alone, you're going to have no predictable scaling. And everyone who's telling you that that's not true is lying directly to you. I run a YouTube only agency, and I can tell you now, it takes a lot of implementation and delegation and putting things into effect for it to eventually start working with no predictability and no consistent scale. So don't get stuck in this organic content trap. We want to be consistent and predictable, finding warm and qualified leads. So this is what we want to have, right? We don't want this. We want to bring in this. And now this is the most desirable thing for most of you who are probably watching this right now. So what you need to do is create an organic and paid content marketing levels. Now, I just want to address the paid content marketing levels first, because the biggest thing I see is that people neglect paid marketing, and they think that it's this huge thing where, I don't want to my people to see this, and I don't want my colleagues to see I'm running ads. Well, at the end of the day, if you really care about your colleagues and how they see you and you don't want to make money, then I would suggest clicking off this video. And second of all, the biggest thing about this is that we don't run generic ads. We don't run ads that say, hey, say this and I'll send you this and book a call or whatever like that. No, we use your generic content. We script ads for you directly like your generic content and use that as top of funnel ads. Your ads that we're running for you are simply to get people onto your account. So similarly, like a YouTube sales funnel, where the top of funnel content would be like course videos, it would go into middle of funnel, which would be Instagram, and then bottom of funnel, which would be appointment setting. So your funnel looks like this, right? And essentially the top of funnel would be ads. The middle of a funnel is your content engine that nurtures leads, which would be Instagram and YouTube organic content. And then your bottom of funnel is appointment setting and booking calls. That's how this works. So start making top of funnel ads. TF means top of funnel, and nurturing the leads with organic content. So using data-driven approach, so you can use something called sort feed and vidIQ to find the competitors and what they're doing and make it more valuable and attack it at a different angle. Creating top of funnel ad campaigns that bring in your ICP right to your account, and then consistently post IG and YouTube content to nurture and warm the leads. Once people get onto your account, they need to be nurtured. They need to see all this content. Otherwise, they won't be converted. So if you're running ads and that's it, and there's no conversion content on there, this is why the organic content for the system is so important, that they're not going to want to even bother messaging you or anything. Now, the biggest thing is that you need to start creating this content, posting on YouTube, posting on Instagram, making sure the content fits your ICP, making sure you're doing the correct, data, tracking, script writing, everything like that for your ICP. Then constantly post IG shorts and YouTube content, like I said. Now, what's next? What's the next step after we do this? Well, that's consistency and optimization. And the biggest thing that I see with a lot of coaches and info owners is that they don't have any consistency. They're posting on socials and they're not really seeing any results from it because they have no data and they're not posting enough. And that's the sad truth behind it. So making sure to stick to a content schedule. This is the biggest thing, making content schedule and optimizing your ads as they go. Make sure you're posting at a minimum 15 times per month on IG and even 4 times per month on YouTube. I actually do 2 videos every week on my YouTube, so you can even do that as well. You need to optimize your ads and increase and decrease ad spend. Now, depending on how you structure your ad creative, you shouldn't ever need to decrease it, but sometimes that will happen, especially if you really don't know how to do ad creatives. But tracking your KPIs, increasing ad spend, maybe moving it from Instagram onto Facebook as well to see how the testing goes. These are very important things. You need to track your things. Let me tell you right now is that if you don't track any KPIs for your business will fail regardless. If you have no KPI tracking, everything will crumble, and I can guarantee you that right now. The next thing I'll say is that you need to make sure you're posting consistently on IG stories. These are money printers. Posting constantly on IG is one of the most important things. I can show you this right now. I posted the other day about this video that I'm creating right now. If you're a coach, info product owner, I'm about to reveal a system that can produce you millions of dollars. Here's a sneak peek. If you're sick of being capped to 5K per month, working in your business, selling a ticket, having consistent style, like these are money printers, especially when you have a following of people who are your direct ICP. Like that is the most important. So make sure that you do implement that. You need to be posting on IG stories, otherwise it's not going to work very well for you, because these are the conversion methods that work for this system. Now, what's next? Okay. Next is client acquisition. So you've done the content ecosystem, you've implemented the offer optimization. Now it's time to get the clients on board. Now what you're currently facing, again, if you're watching this video, this is exactly what you're facing. You have no way to get the leads from socials to booked closed calls and doing everything yourself. And you want to be having a growth team that books the call for you and pre-qualifies them for you, and you simply take the sales call. Now, how do we do this? Well, implementing an appointment setting system. It's a system that sets appointments for you. Implementing an appointment setter into your business and doing the following. Crafting a DM script for any inbound and outbound leads that you want to start conversation with. So anyone that follows you from the top of funnel ads, you want to have 2 separate DM scripts. You want to have one DM script for reaching out to people who follow you, and a second DM script for people who reach out to you first. This way that you're instantly creating a connection with anyone who follows you, and will get them warm much faster. For any new followers that comes in from ads or Instagram in general, use a separate DM script to outreach them. This is warm outreach. Okay, this is very warm outreach because they already follow you, they've seen your ad, and now they will probably want to hear a little bit more. Use a pre-qualification system like Typeform to rinse out any people. Listen, with any type of system that you use, you're going to have window shoppers or people that simply can't afford your service. Funnel them out. You don't have time to waste on people who don't have time and who don't have money for your offer. That is the simple fact behind it. And then next is lead magnets and assets. Now, these are very, very important. Some people overlook these, but they're very, very important. Making sure you have a conversion magnets like a potential email list that goes from free training. They have to collect the email first and then they get a free training. A VSL that warm leads that can, push them to book a call. Free guides and trainings, give away the source. And also other lead magnets are YouTube videos that you make. For when anyone asks a question in DMs, your setter should be able to go to YouTube and pull a video and goes, okay, don't worry, this answers that question for you. That is how important organic content is as well. Like I know I said organic content by itself doesn't work. I know I said organic content by itself isn't predictable, isn't scalable. It's not. But using it as a method to increase scale does definitely help. And when you're doing these free guides and trainings, give away the source and sell the implementation, just like I'm doing right here. Now, that is literally how the system works. This is the system that will generate you anywhere from 20K to 100K every single month for your offer. If you aren't ready to implement this, then listen, you aren't ready to scale your business. And honestly, that isn't my problem. So what is the outcome after implementing this system? Well, very, very simple. You scale fast to 20K to 100K per month, like I just said. You work on your business, not in your business. You don't want to be working in your business as a founder. Selling high ticket offers, getting better clients and better client results because they see the value in your offer. Consistent, warm, and qualified lead flow, and be able to scale faster and work with less clients while making more money. This is the most important thing. This is inevitably what you desire as a coach or info product owner. And that is what the system provides. And you're going to get tons of sales just like this, bringing in thousands and thousands of dollars every single month. Listen, if you're ready to implement this system for your coaching or your info product, I actually want to help you do this and implement the system for you and bring in anywhere from 20 to 100K per month onto your business. So click the link down below to book a completely free strategy session. We'll map out exactly how to implement the system for your specific business. Listen, this isn't for everyone. We only really work with info product and coaches who are already making 5K per month with their business and who are actually ready to take the next step and scale their business to that 20 to 100K per month mark. Or even if you're already at 100K per month, to scale that to 200K and 400K per month if you haven't been already implementing this system. Listen, the difference between coaches who scale past 20K and those who stay stuck is completely simple. It's all about having the right system. Not more platforms, not more hours work, not more cold DMs, a system that provides replicable results predictably and is implemented completely correctly. I've laid out this blueprint completely for free for you. Now it's time for you to actually take action. Listen, if this resonated with you, hit the subscribe button. And again, if you want help implementing this and scaling your business to 20 to 100K per month, click the link down below to have a free strategy call, and I hope to see you on the inside. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more. I'm giving away a ton more free value, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and bye.